previously.
Whether you're within or without the USA, you should be able to still acquire your teaching license. But the question to ask, is this really possible?
Of course.
It is possible, all right? So in our time going to the United States, we did not know this.
Yeah.
So we went there without our teaching license. But that does not have to be your reality.
South Carolina.
Miami Bridge, job bridge. Yeah. Vacation reach up. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Altitude way up. Never see bridge a move yet in Jamaica.
Road travel is awesome. Wagwan Dreamers, thanks for checking into the Positivity In, where everything is copacetic because God is in it. If you are new here, welcome by checking in. On this video, you have automatically been given the silver package, but please do upgrade to gold by subscribing to this channel, or all the way up top to platinum by not only subscribing but liking this video, checking in with a comment below, and sharing with your friends. To all our returning dreamers, wagwan, big up yourself. Thank you so much for the continued support. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Daniel Robdon, and with me is the co-host
Robdon.
And we are talking about
credential evaluation. But let me just go ahead and just emphasize what Daniel said earlier. I just want to thank everyone that have been following us through this series and giving us your support. I want to encourage you to keep following as we continue to share pertinent information. And remember, share it with someone, all right? Pay it forward by just copying the link and sharing it with someone. Yes. Invite them to come and be a part of the Dreamers family, the Positivity In family. All right, so let's start talking today about credential evaluation. The first thing we want to talk about is, what is credential evaluation? So credential evaluation is a way in which academic and professional degrees earned in one country, yes, is compared to the standards in another country. All right. So for example, if you had completed a degree at the University of the West Indies in Jamaica, right, and you decide to apply for a job in America, your employer will require you to complete a credential evaluation, which is going to measure it against their standard. All right, so they're going to look at the course, they're going to look at it course by course, look at it topic by topic, and see if you meet their standard. Not only is credential evaluation used for employment, but it's also used for persons who want to go on to university. It's also used with an academic intent as well. Why is it necessary for a credential evaluation? So we're going to give you 5 different reasons why it is necessary to do a credential evaluation. First up, authentication of documents. All right, so we need to make sure that the documents that you are providing, they're actually genuine, they're real, you actually went to the institution, and you actually did the course. Yeah, we live in a time now where persons can just create a degree, create a certificate that looks real, and say, yeah, I went to this university and I went there between these years, and this is what I actually did. So it's important to institutions and of course employers.
even when we were doing our credential evaluation, it had to be sealed from the institutions because they didn't want us to have any contact with it.
Right, so it was a way of affirming and confirming that you actually did what you claim to have done, and that you are qualified and competent in the areas that you claim to be competent in. All right, so number 2 is a verification of English translation. So that is, if I did a degree in a Spanish-speaking country, like Spain, perhaps, I went to a university in Spain, because I'm going to work perhaps in America or in Canada, I'm going there to work in an English environment, so they would want my documents to be translated into English, and so you would want an evaluation to make sure that the content that is in Spanish is actually what it is supposed to be in English. All right?
So accuracy.
Accuracy. The third reason, biographic and academic history check. All right? And by that, we actually mean we also want to check other pertinent data about yourself. And so biographic data is going to be your name, your date of birth, is also going to include any personal data about you that the school would have actually had. And so if you had any name changes, right? For example, Danielle was Brown, now she's now Brown Robertson. Credential evaluation is going to verify the same person now who is Brown Robertson is Danielle. Was Danielle Brown.
So another thing, dreamers and Hun, is having an understanding of their foreign accreditation status. So you know that a lot of universities and colleges have risen up in different areas locally, and they don't really have the accreditation, like they're not recognized as, you know, being an authority on the area, and that has to be a whole, you know, process of going through courses, evaluation, and that kind of thing. So they're so new that they aren't really verifiable internationally. And so doing this process of accreditation is their way of really, you know, trying to balance what institution it is that you've attended. Is this an accredited institution? Who is the body governing that accreditation? So we know that UE and UTEC are two of the accredited institutions in Jamaica. So they'll be able to look at those and, you know, say if it is okay.
Right, so UCJ in Jamaica is our accrediting body, and so if you go to the UCJ website, you can see a list of the educational institutions that are actually accredited. And so as Daniel would have said, the purpose of the credential evaluation is to verify that the school is listed as an accredited institution, and they can also verify that it is recognized by the accredited body. So whichever country you're listening from, you want to make sure that the institution that you're going to study at is actually an accredited institution, because if you intend to study abroad, let's say you're going to pursue a master's or you're going to pursue employment, they are going to require a credential evaluation, and they are going to be able to determine whether or not you're worthy of, you know, of becoming a student or becoming an employee based on this reality. All right?
Right. Another point is with the credential evaluation, it has a detailed outlook on your transcript. So it sees all the courses that you'd have done, when you'd have done them, the grade you'd have gotten in there, you know, what is being covered within the content. So they're able to look at their content in that area to see if you'd have covered the necessities, or is it that you'd have missed something that you need to really go through before being able to be effective in whatever it is that you're applying to.
Right, so and that we refer to as program evaluation. So it's checking your course, and most employer or educational institution requires a course by course evaluation. So they're going to look at it course by course, look what it entails, because you know we could study computer science in one country, and we looked at Java, for example. In Jamaica we look at Java, we look at Python, we looked at C++, but in another school, for example, another country that is employing you, they want you to teach maybe C++ or C or COBOL, but when they look at your transcript, they'll be able to tell what type of programming language you're actually competent in. And so this is why it's very important that they conduct this thing called a credential evaluation.
You can support the Robdons brand today by visiting our website reasonwithrobdon.com, shop merchandise, and check out the variety of items we have just for you and the family. Positivity. Your support for quality.
Happy shopping!
All All right, so those are the 5 reasons. So if I could summarize those 5 points again just for you. So 1, a credential evaluation is necessary for the authentication of documents. 2, the verification of English translation. 3, biographical and academic history check. 4, foreign academic institution check. And lastly, program evaluation. All right, so now we're going to recommend to you 3 institutions that you can actually go to get your credential evaluation done. And it's very important that you double check with your organization. So if it's a school or it's an employer, you want to double check with them to find out what they will accept, because not every company is authorized to conduct a credential evaluation, and some employers will not recognize some of the work. So what I'm going to do is to recommend 3 for you.
So we actually used 2 of these 3. One was West, and they came through really quick, and the other was Spantron.
Yeah, and West is recognized both in the United States and in Canada. In fact, they have establishment in Canada and they have establishment in USA. So they are a good one for you to consider. All right. Now, when I was going on a cultural exchange program, I actually used one called Spantron. Now, Spantron for me was very useful at the time, because they provided a service I think that West didn't provide, and that service was I could pay them all the money. I could pay them an extra fee, and they would contact the school and get the documents that they need and verify the information without my personal involvement. So I personally like that, and so that was good for me. All right. A third one is Evaluation Service INC. All right. You can go ahead and check these out. I am also going to put the link inside of the description. You can go and do your personal check just to make sure. Remember to contact your institution before you actually do the credential evaluation and find out if these are one of the approved entities for conducting credential evaluation. I will also point out that for job purposes in the United States, there are some that are not recognized. I'm going to tell you what those 5 are. Write this down. Grab a pen and start writing down. So we have IACE. All right? IACE. Next, we have ECE. Check those out before. We have GCE, and then the last one we have is Joseph Silly and Associates. So if you're going on a J1 program, you want to check these out again and make sure that your employer is going to accept. All right. I know that there are some J1 programs or some employers that will not accept from the ones we have listed. All right. So make sure you check those out. All right. So, that said, we want to thank you again for listening to us. Remember to go and check out our website. Make sure you go to www.reasonwithrobdon.com and go to the shop, go to the merchandise and purchase
an item.
Yeah, grab yourself a shirt, grab yourself a cup, grab yourself something. All right? So, until next time, when we'll do another topic.
Have for yourselves a fantabulous day. Put God in your processes, and absolutely everything, not just something, everything will be copacetic. Peace.